unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you win in any marketplace. Intelligent Talk Radio, consumer advocate-based program right here in Tampa Bay, helping you with your buying decisions. We've got attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. Give us a call on the hotline, 813-670-7372, 813-673-7372. 7372, and we'll help you win in any marketplace.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
ConsumerQB.com also is the website. You can see all of our expert contributors on the website as well, ConsumerQB.com, helping you win in any marketplace. As you know, the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and we like to feature our real estate listings live on air on the show to help you when you're selling, profit more. It's all about profiting more on the sale of your real estate. So we got a property here at 8518 Poydras Lane in Tampa. This is a gorgeous property right here in Tampa Bay. Almost 1,800 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and the backyard is awesome because you've got no backyard neighbor. You got a conservation view in the backyard from Poydras Lane. Stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, cul-de-sac area as well. Great location here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 8518 Poydras Lane. Great buying opportunity here in Tampa Bay. All right, we've got 1010 Bay Esplanade as well. Clearwater Beach. This is one of my favorite listings. It's on the north side of Clearwater Beach. Millionaires Row. You're surrounded by millionaires. Great buying opportunity. You got a separate rental apartment, third-story sun deck. Great opportunity to purchase real estate. 1010 Bay Esplanade right here on Clearwater Beach. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And let's give a quick shout out to the Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Maher Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Beautiful property. They've got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, and a huge beach. Clyde Smith, the general manager, calls it a 2-beer beach. Takes you 2 beers to get all the way down there. So, all right, we're helping you win. Lisa Wall starting us off here today, theghostpublishing.com. She's a senior writer and head writing coach. Welcome back.
Hey there, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yep. Thanks for coming back on. Later in the show, we've got Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, one of our real estate attorneys, or more of a work comp attorney, that is. And later in the show, Brandon Faust as well, Mold Zero. So, Lisa, we talk a lot about marketing, and folks have a book inside them, whether they know it or not a lot of times.
Right. And what a lot of people also don't know is, with just some focus and some help, how they can get that book on the page and actually have it published so it can be used to their advantage. And we've created a process to help authors do that.
Yeah, get it out of your head, onto paper, get those ideas, and pass those along to whoever wants to read it.
Yes, we have several authors who've just recently gone through our most recent 45-day Write Your Book Challenge that went on for November and December, and 8 of them are ready to be published in February. So it's unheard of in our industry to be able to tell an author, you can not only have your book completed, but edited and published within 90 days. It's unheard of, but yet we've been able to do it with many of our authors.
Well, Eli has always been a leader. Eli Gonzalez, the godfather of ghostwriting, he's always been a leader in this space, and I know he's got some other cool things that he's done with his business model. He's always on the front edge of that.
Right, and now it's all about coaching. It's about encouraging and lifting up those who are ready to do the work themselves, and they're able and they do have the time, making sure that what they come up with is a quality product that's going to assist them to elevate their business profile or their personal profile, or in the case of many of our authors that just came through our 45 days, several of them have already booked their first speaking schedules. So, I mean, it's again unheard of that this stuff can happen fast if you know the people who can help walk you through it.
Right, absolutely. So when you look at writing a book, it's going to help you get on stages. It's going to help you grow your business. You're going to be able to present yourself as a published author, which I believe less than 1% of the entire population has published a book. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That even with all the self-publishing options out there, that's still correct. And more than that, 89% of people who start their book never finish it. So our assistance is getting you to that goal that you have, so that you can do with your book what you need it to do for your career, for your profile.
Yeah, it's so cool. It was a goal of mine about 10 years ago, and then finally realized that goal. And just to be able to put one of those, it's great when you check off that list. You have goals in your life, and you want to build a house, or you want to do certain things, and to be able to accomplish that, I think it's just such a big boost. It's a self-esteem booster, isn't it?
Well, and I know your books, Brandon, they're incredibly positive and informative. They're the kinds of messages people need more of today. We have so much negative. We have so many things going on that we can't trust what we hear. We can't trust what we see.
Right.
But you can trust someone's story is their story.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times it comes down to when you're writing a book, I think, what do you think some of the misnomers are, I think, about writing a book? People think, well, I just don't have enough information, or I don't have the knowledge, or maybe it costs too much. What are some of the main misnomers or barriers to entry?
Well, the misnomer is time. There are several people we've worked with where they actually took time off work 3 to 4 months away from their job to focus on writing their book and still didn't finish it. Wow. So even if you have time to dedicate, many people who do dedicate the time still don't get to the finish line. So it's really misnomer on time, because many of our 45-day challenge people, in less than 2 hours a day during the 45 days, were able to complete their draft. So the time, and they had family things come up, they had work things come up during the 45 days. But when you have a plan and you're focused and you have people coaching you who know what they're doing, time is not a barrier. And many people think it is. And money. Financially, if you're willing to do the writing and able to, because you do have some time to commit to it, to do the writing part yourself, you really just need help with editing and publishing. It's surprising, to be legitimately published, not doing it yourself, not trying to fashion something insane online and put together, your own profile and platform, but actually get professional help doing it. It's not as expensive as people think.
Right. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Lisa Walls, theghostpublishing.com, local company right here. Again, another example of our expert contributors, 80 different categories, 50 plus show partners associated with the show. And this one's a neat one. It's a very unique kind of a niche business where they're going to teach you how to write your own book, help you write your own book, maybe coach you to become a ghost writer. And it's an interesting industry. It's a very cool industry that can help you from a business perspective, from a marketing perspective, really just differentiate yourself. As realtors go, not many of them are published authors. I've written a couple books. On my way to my third. We have teamed up on a third book here. So real excited about that, the release. I was kind of joking a little bit before the show off air. It's like the ball's in my court now. All I have to do is edit it and kind of make sure it's all flowing properly, and then get it right back to you guys, Lisa, and then we're off to the races there.
Well, for anybody who has 45 days where they're willing to take a serious look at where they're at in their process, or whether they're ready to get started, now is the time, because we're starting our next 45-day challenge on Wednesday. We're wasting no time.
45-day challenge. So walk us through that. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it's hosted on our Facebook group. So you join our 45-day challenge on Wednesday. Within the first week, you'll have the tools to structure and begin your book. By week 2, you'll have the first several chapters written. And throughout the several weeks that we work with you, we coach you through the entire process. And, you'll be in a group with people so that you will all be going through the process. You'll also learn from each other. It creates a huge sense of community. Our group was this last 45-day group was so excited about the kind of feedback and support they were getting from others in the group that they begged us to continue on and create their own Facebook group so that they can still be a part of the community. It's just an incredibly powerful resource. And, of course, Eli has incredible knowledge in this arena, and he's just so generous with it. I mean, in this group, we've shared how to get on stages. We've shared how to promote yourself and your book more effectively. It's the full package.
Are you seeing more stages opening up now that the vaccine's been out, or is it still a little bit slow as far as getting on stages more virtual?
Yeah, I think people need to still be a little bit more flexible. They need to be able to, receive that, sometimes just being in a quorum or being asked to be part of a guest panel, that's still a good speaking engagement. You need to jump on those.
Right.
So we do need to be a little bit ready to be flexible. However, yes, things are opening up, and especially in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Lisa Walls here. The ghostpublishing.com is the website, and Eli Gonzalez is also on the team. You probably heard Eli on the show as well, the godfather of ghostwriting. The ability to get your thoughts on paper, publish a book, differentiate yourself from your competition if you're in business. What are some of your favorite work that you've done? What are some of the favorite books that you put out, Lisa?
Well, I've had a couple that were just very powerful because the author had a specific area of knowledge. One of my favorite ones is a financial advisor and coach and consultant who wrote a book specifically to guide parents how to teach their children and teens to manage money. And, that's just, it's amazing what the body of knowledge that our community has, right? And what a great asset to families that book is. So that's one of my favorites. Another one is one I'm working on right now, a particular author. She just comes up with amazing things, prophetic things. She's a coach, and everything that comes out of her mouth, I just wish I could memorize it and just I could share it with people, but of course, we're getting it on the page. This is her message, but it's going to change lives. She was a single mom. She was homeless, and she got back on her feet, and she tells how. She tells how no matter who you are, what circumstances you've been through, and for a lot of our listeners, many of whom are very successful, we may have people in our lives who are really struggling and we don't know how to help them. Well, this lady's book is really going to help people get from, 0 to 100. She's been through it herself. She knows what she's talking about, and she has incredible wisdom for people who are truly struggling right now.
Yeah, very cool. I love those stories like that. Kind of reminds me of Captain Will Smith. He's written a couple with Eli. I think Ditches to Riches, kind of that adversity, overcoming adversity story. And then also Falling from the Sky, the one that we are working on creating a movie out of it, his life story of going to prison and falsely incarcerated and then winning his appeal, coming out of prison, and then actually getting the judge thrown off the bench and disbarred. So that was Captain Will Smith, Falling from the Sky as well. So great opportunities to get your story out. What's a final thought from you, Lisa? Words of wisdom, final thought.
I know this week has been a really tough week for patriots and people who really care about this country. And more than anything, we need messages of hope, Brandon. We need people to share their stories of hope and resurge and come out strong in a positive way that, helps us recover our identity as Americans. We are a nation of hope, and we have hopeful people who have succeeded, and we need to share with each other our stories.
I love that. That's a good way to end it. Absolutely. Reach out to Lisa Walls, theghostpublishing.com. And if you'd like to write your own book, you could reach out to our hotline. We'll put you right in touch with them as well. 813-670-7372. Give us a call on the hotline, 670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline, consumerqb.com as well. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors and theghostpublishing.com. Thanks a lot, Lisa. We appreciate it. Say hello to the team for us.
Thanks so much, Brandon. You have a great day.
My pleasure. All right, when we come back, attorney Jason Kobal going to be in studio. We're going to talk about a lot of different things happening from a legal perspective, compensation law, work comp law, and some changes, of course, to different laws. Also, our feel-good story of the day, farmer turned astronaut teaches kids not to give up. Find out about that and more from our expert contributors. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Brimes1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, of course, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty as well on Facebook and Parler. And we'll be right back after this short break.
This is Ward Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show with your residential update for Pinellas County, Florida. This is the latest numbers from the Real Estate Board. The active listings, the number of active listings in Pinellas County at the end of October was 3,510 active real estate properties, and that's residential listings. Now, if we come down and we look at the sales, 2,120 of those 3,500 properties sold, and that divided by, is it going to equal a 60% absorption rate right here, which is a pretty high absorption rate in Pinellas County. And if we divide that by 100, that's giving us a 1.67 months supply of inventory. It's a strong seller's market, as you probably already know and heard here in Tampa Bay. So Pinellas County is a hot real estate market here in Tampa Bay. If you're buying, selling, or investing, Brandon Rhymes here. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We offer a free comparable market analysis, and we can also help you improve credit. We have credit experts, mortgage experts. Would love to talk to you. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. And our website is platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your consumer advocate, consumer quarterback show, and Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top 1% ranked real estate team. She does feng shui and interior design as well, some pranic healing, some pretty cool stuff there. We got a great team helping you in your real estate deals. A couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay, 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. This property is a full acre on the water, direct access to the bay. What a great buying opportunity if you are a fisherman or sportsman, outdoorsman. Just want to be out and about on the boat. One full acre right here in Tampa Bay, Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey, 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue, Newport Richey. Bay access. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, we've got a property at 1813 East Knollwood. This is a South Tampa property, completely renovated, completely rebuilt, basically from the studs out. 1,291 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, carport, large fenced-in backyard as well. Great opportunity to own real estate. The kitchen looks great. The backsplash, everything looks wonderful. 1813 East Knollwood Street in Tampa. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot, a.k.a. Discovery Golf Cars. They got 2 locations in Tampa, Tampa location, Clearwater location, Land O'Lakes area as well. And they have all types of great carts available. Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman, and you can get pre-owned or new golf carts available from Discovery Golf Carts, a.k.a. Golf Cart Depot. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers. Give them a call. Let them know the quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. All right, we got attorney Jason Kobal back in the house. Welcome in, sir.
Hi, Brandon. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Good to have you back in, man. So we're talking about a lot about consumer law when we bring you in studio. What are you seeing out there?
Well, with the COVID, everything has changed, as you know.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing a lot of bad debt, a lot of... You got, the dark web is scary. A lot of identification, people stealing your ID. So you really want to be vigilant nowadays and make sure you're checking your credit. Even myself, I had a couple of strange purchases made. I take care of a few things. So watch your bank accounts, watch your credit report. There's some great resources out there like Credit Karma. They make their money off the advertiser, so it's just free. And then they'll tell you if there's a change in your credit or anything. And then if you do have anything on your credit report that doesn't belong there, you give me a call and I can help you get that taken care of. And if they don't listen, we take them to court.
Identity theft is one of those areas that people, I think, overlook, man. It's a rampant thing out there. It's a big business. So on the dark web, people actually are posting people's identities and credit card information.
Yes, sir. And from what I read, it's gotten even worse with the COVID. So more than ever, with everybody at home, there's online purchases are up. So there's a lot of bad activity out there. So you got to watch your stuff.
So how does the liability roll out? Like if you're using a bank card, for example, debit card, credit card, you're purchasing online, and someone steals your information. Have you seen? I mean, how does it? I'm trying to think in my mind, like, how does the accountability flow? Is it on the credit card company? Is it on you for not using a secured
It all
web?
depends. It all depends on the circumstances. Usually, most major credit card companies, you report it, and they'll reimburse you. That's usually the case. Not always the case. And then if that doesn't work, then you got to go to the site. But 9 times out of 10, that'll happen, and then you might have to report it to the authorities, and then from there. But as far as credit issues, if there's something on your credit report, and we write them a letter to take that off, and they don't do it within 30 days, then you get an FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act case in federal court. You get up to $1,000 if they don't take it off. So usually they do. Usually you don't have to do that.
Interesting. Okay, we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal here. Local attorney, local contributor to the show, legal analyst here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Kobal Law as well. And we talk about work comp law. What are you seeing on the work comp side?
It's interesting. The COVID also there has caused a lot of changes. A lot of people working at home now. So a lot of my clients they're on light duty, they're getting these job offers where before – these jobs weren't really around, and they have light duty jobs where they could just work at home and it's not physical. So when you're on workers' comp and you're on light duty and you're not at max medical improvement, if you're not offered a job within your restrictions, you sit at home, you collect 64% of your average. If you're offered a job within your restrictions, such as any job really, sitting at home, on the phone or on Zoom or something like that, and you turn it down, it could shut off your money. So I'm seeing a lot of changes with respect to the types of jobs my clients are getting offered when they're on light duty.
Yeah.
And as far as the COVID, the virus itself, a lot of workers are contacting me who work at nursing homes, and they're on the front lines. A lot of them have caught it. And, it's scary times. A lot of them haven't caught it, but they want to get out of there. So, we're getting a lot of calls.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting times. We in yesterday's show, we had State House Representative Nick DeSigli on the show, and he talked about a bill that he introduced, House Bill, or actually there's one that's being introduced, House Bill 7, I believe, but it talked about the COVID-19 issue of potential liability for businesses. So they're going in session on the March 2nd. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that gets passed, how it gets passed, and because that's another area of concern for business owners.
Absolutely. That's a great thing that's happening. And, that's what, as the COVID, runs its course, the laws are changing, and that has to happen. It'll be interesting. And then you got to, keep track of it all and make sure there's no loopholes and changes that need to be made from there. But yeah, things are moving fast.
I think as long as business owners follow the CDC guidelines and practice basic, normal, average, standard, policies, the CDC guidelines, you're going to be okay. But if you're letting things slip through the cracks, you're not following, and you're allowing employees to run around maybe without mask or whatever an incident might be, whatever a breach of that might be, then you might be opening yourself up.
Exactly. Personally, in my office, we had my office manager for 10 years. She just got it. And so she's now quarantined at home, for a while. Yeah. Everybody got tested. It's definitely crazy times.
Yeah, absolutely. When we come back, I want to talk with attorney Jason Kobal here more. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the personal injury law that he also practices, and touch a little bit more on Zoom, maybe potentially what are they doing for trials with the judges. And also coming up later in the show, Brandon Faust, Mold Zero. Find out everything you want to know about mold and how to protect yourself and your family right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Let me know when you're ready to proceed. All right, if everyone's ready, please stand by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We appreciate you hanging out and joining us on the Consumer Quarterback Show every day. 4 o'clock drive time right here on AM 860 The Answer. Got a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone as well, Sunday mornings, bright and early, 7 a.m. And you can also follow us online. Our YouTube channel has a lot of great content as well. ConsumerQB.com is our website. Lots of links there. You can see all of our shows as well on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, about 85 other smart television outlets and other outlets as well. Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you there. At Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Let's connect online. And, of course, LinkedIn. We can link up on LinkedIn as well. We got Attorney Jason Kobal in the house. More from Attorney Jason Kobal coming up. Want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. John, I want to have you throw up a couple of those new ones if you have them handy there. We had a couple new ones here in Tampa Bay that we just listed as well. A lot of real estate properties. So we got 36750 U.S. Highway 19 North, unit number 28. This is a Palm Harbor home in Innisbrook, inside the Innisbrook Golf Club community. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 1,200 square feet, wraparound balcony, a great golf course views as well, stainless steel appliances, beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. We got professional photography ordered now and updated as well online. So a great real estate property right here in Tampa Bay. We've got some other properties as well. 5727 Biscayne Court. This is unit number 201. Another beautiful condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-screen balconies and lanais right here in Tampa Bay. Community pool and clubhouse, marina, covered parking, and a great opportunity. Less than 1,000 square feet, though a little bit small on the square footage. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And Attorney Jason Kobal back in studio here. We're talking about, I hear congratulations are in order as well with your appellate win. That was a pretty cool case you had. That made its way all the way up to a couple different cases going, but one that made it up to the state Supreme Court.
Yep. That one, I actually filed the original complaint, and then when I saw it involved more than just my client, it was a systemic issue, I sent it to a class action firm, and that's actually who has it. But at any rate, that one, the oral arguments occurred before the Supreme Court of Florida, and they only pick a couple where they take a couple on each year.
Wow.
And you could usually get sometimes, not all the time, you usually get a good vibe of how they're going to decide based on how they're questioning the attorneys.
Right.
And I feel really good.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And not only that, if we were to lose that part of the practice would be finished. And there were a couple cases where the other side was like, well, let's wait and see what happens with it. And they're not even waiting. So I think we all know.
Nice.
Knock on wood. But no, on a more personal level, I had one of my cases got thrown out early. Similar workers' comp debt that shouldn't have been sent to my client. Judges, they're people. And, I thought the law was clear, and I thought the judge made a mistake. We didn't even have a chance to do discovery. It was thrown out quick. But I got my first win on appeal, which is cool because it was the first time I had oral arguments personally. And the weird part was it was by Zoom. I was so fired up. I'm like, all right, first time you're fielding questions from 3 judges as opposed to 1, which is different.
Wow.
But when it's on Zoom, it was kind of like, all right, it was great, but, we won, and that's awesome. But I was like, man, it would have been cooler in person.
Yeah, would have been a lot cooler, huh?
That's the way things are.
Yeah, exactly. We got to cope and kind of roll with it. And
that's it. You got to be flexible.
See how things are going. What do you see happening with this vaccine? I mean, is it going to come, or are we going to get back to normal sometime soon? I mean, what do you think?
I think so. It's been so crazy. At first it was coming out too quickly, and they were worried about it being dangerous. Now, not quickly enough. Bottom bottom line is, assuming enough people get it, it looks maybe by the summer, hopefully, or something like that.
Yeah.
But and I get a little nervous when I see the new strands popping up.
Yep. There you go.
Like, oh, no.
Just what we needed.
Yeah.
Is another strand of, the pandemic coming to us, and now it's another round of shutdowns. Hopefully not.
Right.
Hopefully we're behind that stuff.
But I'll tell you what, I got to give credit to my new home state of Florida. I drove up to the Poconos for Christmas, and once you leave Florida and you start heading north, man, they are far more restricted. You can't even go to a restaurant. I mean,
man.
Yeah, it's way, I think Governor DeSantis has done a great job. I like it here in Florida.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I think more and more people are realizing that and understanding it. And you see sometimes people take pictures of like I saw a picture somebody posted of Ybor City, and people are, at the bars and they're hanging out. But, you got to think about how many of those people have been vaccinated, how many people have already had the COVID-19 virus. So a lot of people are not susceptible to it because they've already had it.
Yeah, and there's so many factors as far as, when you lock everything up and people are losing jobs, they get depressed. And sometimes it's tough to decide what's going to do more harm than good. Or
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also practicing out of your Kobal Law Office. Why don't we just describe different types of law that you're looking for, so our listeners, in case they want to reach out to you, and personal injury and work comp.
It all stems around injury law. It sounds like it's a lot of different stuff, but it's really not. On-the-job injuries is workers' comp. When you get too hurt to work and you want to go on Social Security disability, I do that too. If you get in a car accident or you slip and fall and get hurt, I do personal injury. So all types of injury law. And then the last, say, 6 years or so, I've been doing the illegitimate debt, any kind of debt that's wrong. But primarily I specialize in medical debt. And workers' comp, you're supposed to never get billed, and it happens all the time.
Wow.
So I've been making our mark on that scene. So
Yeah, it's interesting. So people get injured, they look for relief from the medical side, but then they start getting these bills, and it's like, wow, you shouldn't have gotten the bills in the first place, and probably people don't know that.
No, they don't. And it's supposed to be, the system's supposed to be self-executing, like an exchange of benefits where the employer can't get sued by their employees. That's their benefit. But in exchange, they're supposed to provide prompt medical care that's not a financial burden to the injured worker. So that's
Right.
what they're not supposed to get billed. But what I've come to learn is a lot of providers will just bill everybody. And they don't care if they get paid twice, or, they just want to get paid.
Right. Right. Yeah, you can see that. Interesting times, too. Here we are rolling out in January 2021.
Yeah.
What do you see on the horizon? What's 2021 going to look like?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very, it was a little scary with that case going to the Supreme Court. That could have ended that part of my practice. So I'm looking forward to now that when that decision comes down, to go full bore into that area of the practice. And it's just, I'm happy to be here in Florida, and I'm excited. I want to make 2021 the best year. I say it every year.
That's right.
But I'm going to make this one the best one yet.
Absolutely. That's right, man. Lots of good things. As long as our numbers went up from our real estate business, even with all the COVID stuff, and so we still had an improvement. And so that's it. I think as business owners, as self-employed folks, we always just look to improve on what we did the previous year. So, we'll do it again in 2021.
That's it.
Good deal. All right, give us some final thoughts, words of wisdom, and last words.
If you get into a car accident, make sure that the attorney you hire, that you're communicating with them, because honest to God, it's everything.
Yeah.
Whether it's knowing the policy limits, because that determines how you handle the case, whether you want to do it quickly or not so quickly. And then also just, your treatment. Communication could make or break your case. So make sure that you have an attorney that's communicating with you. If you don't hear from him or her, you want to get another one.
Communication is key.
Yep.
Any business, any relationship.
That's it.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Always
Reach out to the show if you'd like to talk to Jason Kobal, highly respected attorney right here in Tampa Bay. 813-750-0550. Call the hotline, 813-750-0550. We'll put you in touch with attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, and you can find him online as well. And when we come back, we have Brandon Faust in the house. Brandon Faust, Mold Zero, everything you wanted to know about mold and how you can protect your family and your assets. Mold Zero in the house. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, farmer turned astronaut teaches kids not to give up. Find out about his story, which is also being made into a movie right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, giving you a real estate market update for Hillsboro County. These are the residential listings available at the end of October. There were 3,348 residential properties available in Hillsboro County, and out of those 3,348 properties, 2,488 sold. That gives us a 74% absorption rate. That is a high rate of absorption, and it also equals a 1.35 months supply of inventory, equals a strong seller's market. It's a great time to sell right now. Of course, if you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. Brandon Rhymes here. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top team at Keller Williams Realty. We actually rank in the top 1% of all realtors here in Tampa Bay. Give us a call at 813-670-7372. Free comparable market analysis, 813-670-7372. And check out our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And for our radio show, you can check us out at consumerqb.com, and you can find 80 plus categories, 50 plus show partners at consumerqb.com. And Brandon Rhymes here signing off. Thank you so much. Make it a great day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back here in studio. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. Giving a shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you're planning a local or long distance move, reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. They do a great job with our real estate clients. They actually moved my family personally. So from firsthand experience, I give a resounding compliment to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. A couple of hot listings here for the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We want to talk about our real estate listings. 1401 Seminole Boulevard. We got some vacant land available in Pinellas County. This is a corner lot, 0.82 acres at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Pinellas County. Great opportunity for a business. Build your business. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Also got some land at 1224 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. So another vacant lots available. Actually, one has a building on it. So there's some lots available right here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And every day we tell you something good here in our Feel Good Stories.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is the farmer turned astronaut. Great story here. Jose Hernandez had his dream of becoming an astronaut. He made it into reality against the incredible odds. The former NASA astronaut Jose Hernandez spent most of his life working in the fields as a young boy. He picked fruits and vegetables alongside his family. He said, we spent 9 months in California, 3 months in Mexico, and he went to 3 different school districts. He went on to graduate a master's degree in electrical and computer engineering from the University of California, Santa Barbara. And then he also was rejected by NASA. So he said, I got rejected not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 11 times he got rejected. It wasn't until the 12th time that he got selected to blast off. So he joined Space Shuttle Crew Discovery in 2009. And he worked on the International Space Station for 14 days, 14-day trip, and he now runs his own foundation, Reaching for the Stars. Through the foundation, he said he hopes to teach kids how to realize their dreams and, quote, hard work and perseverance are not being afraid to dream big, he said. And next year, Netflix is going to begin production on a film about Jose Hernandez's life and journey into space. So there's a cool story for you right there in our feel-good story of the day. And we are joined now in studio by Brandon Faust, B. Faust in the house, Mold Zero. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, that is a great story, huh? The guy going from those beginnings all the way to being an astronaut.
Yeah, humble beginnings, working in the fields, and now, going from the astronaut stage. What an awesome experience.
Yeah, it makes me think I need to think bigger myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody has their passion. That's the beauty of America. You can follow those passions and attain it.
Yeah, well, in terms of Mold Zero, bringing it down to ground level here on Earth, I think that one of the things that allows me to keep doing what I do is that exact point of having a passion and being able to follow it and follow through with helping people, which is something that if the business didn't involve that, I don't think I would be able to do it day in, day out. So I'm glad to be able to help the Tampa Bay community and help people with their indoor air quality, because it does make a huge difference in their overall quality of life.
Yeah, it really does. And we actually had a lot of times I say from firsthand experience, some of our expert contributors we worked with, and we had the pleasure of working with your company. And, we had some mold growing, and it was actually very evident the way that it was coming down, because there was a vent from our ventilation from the HVAC system coming down, and you could see, you pointed out to me how it landed on my punching bag. I've got one of those black kind of leather looking punching bags, plastic or leather, whatever it was, but it really showed up on the top of that. So it's very evident, and it was proof that it was flowing down from the air conditioning system. So we did, why don't you describe how we treated that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you see the colonization that takes place on, in this case, the leather punching bag. But ultimately, the colonization, you're talking about millions of spores that have gotten together, and now they're sitting there having a party on your punching bag, right? And what mold does, the way that it actually works, it absorbs material, and then that's how it feeds itself. So if it has enough water, moisture, water, moisture, oxygen, and then nutrients, in this case the leather bag, it will start actually growing or germinating. So, but first came the actual spores floating around that were in the HVAC system, like you said.
Right.
They come in from outside. You get the condensation from the actual AC system. They get moisture there, and then it starts spreading throughout the entire house or the building envelope. So what we did in this case is, we do a wipe down and a very detailed vacuuming of any space that we're going to be treating. Once we do that, then we're going to do a whole home fogging to ensure that the airborne spores and also the surface mold is eliminated or destroyed. So what occurs, the product that we're using, it's a non-toxic product, but it's hydrogen peroxide based, and and also industrial grade vinegar. So it eats into the membrane of the mold spore. It breaks it apart so that it can no longer grow. And then we run an air scrubber, which has a very detailed filter. So any sort of remnants of those spores also get sucked into that and cleaned from the actual building envelope or the home or the industrial space.
Yeah, so it's all natural. I love that. So it was hydrogen and also like an industrial grade vinegar.
Yeah, hydrogen peroxide and industrial grade vinegar. So, for example, I have a 3-year-old and a daughter who's about to turn 2. So, I've done it each year just as a precautionary measure. Obviously when everything started happening with the virus, I wanted to sanitize my home. And the product that we use is actually on list in of this CDC approved products to combat the virus.
Nice.
So it not only handles, the virus, which is actually easier to kill, but mold spores, which takes a bit of a longer time to actually eat through that, right? So it's on that EPA registered and CDC approved list. But, to the point, it is a non-toxic product that goes into the home, and you can actually be back into the home 3 hours after we've done a full sanitization. In this case, with your home, I think you guys were back in there same day, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think it was just later in the day. Yeah. We waited till like 7 o'clock, I think it was, to get back in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you smell a little bit of a vinegar smell for the next 24, 48 hours, right? But that's about the extent. It doesn't leave any sort of residue, and that's one of the things that I love about the product that we use is that there are other products out there, but they do leave a bit of a residue, and it's kind of sticky. And I don't particularly like that at all. I wanted something that, for Mold Zero that was going to be fast, it was going to be effective, but it was also going to be very environmentally friendly or non-toxic. So, those are the things that we really looked at when we were looking for a product that we could do a whole home sanitization.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it, by the way, if you just missed it or just joined in, we're talking with Brandon Faust. He's owner of Mold Zero, moldzero.com. You can find him online. And Brandon Rhymes, I'm your host. We were talking about our personal home, which was a brand new construction home. We had literally just moved into the house, lived in the house about a year and a half. So we had this brand new home, and then all of a sudden we got mold in our house. We're like, wow, how did this happen? And maybe you could talk about that, Brandon, but also talk about how people can really identify mold themselves, because I bet you a lot of our listeners are living in an environment like this and they don't really know how to identify it.
Absolutely. So to talk about that particular point, I had a client a few years back where, she was actually a friend of a friend, right? And the friend asked me to come in and take a look at her home because her daughter had been sick and had a lot of allergy type symptoms, and she had already had another mold inspector come in and look at her vents. And I don't actually think he was a mold inspector, but somebody who had been experienced in the industry, quote unquote.
Right.
And he had told her that it was dirt. Right. So I looked at it and I said, look, I really don't think that's dirt. I'm going to do a complimentary swab for you just so we can find out. We're going to send it to a lab and we're going to get the results back. And sure enough, it was actually cladosporium, which is an allergenic mold. So she had been told by somebody else that it was dirt, in actual fact, it was growth. So there is a bit of a misconception out there that mold, the only thing to be concerned about is black mold, which the technical term for that is Stachybotrys. But the truth of the matter is, yes, there are these more toxic molds that are also known as wet molds. Yep. What they put out can be very harmful to one's physical well-being. But even the stuff that you see that is extremely common here in Florida, which is growth on the vents, which usually comes back as cladosporium, can really cause a lot of physical issues for people. We're talking about rashes, headaches, joint aches, waking up with congestion every morning, because you're breathing it in while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So a lot of things go misdiagnosed that are actually coming from an allergenic mold. So if you look at your vents, and you see any sort of like discoloration that is more in the dark kind of green color or dark brown color, I would absolutely have a professional mold inspector come in. They can do a sample for you and then can address that, And
you guys offer a free inspection?
We do a free walkthrough. So we'll put eyes on it. We'll take a look at that particular situation. And from there we can advise, okay, look, you're going to need an independent inspector to come in and then do a more detailed report and protocol because this is a toxic mold. It's going to require the removal of contaminated material. But if it is a situation which is not pervasive, it's not more than 10 square feet, it's not going to require tear out, then in that case, yes, we can do the actual samples, and then we can then address it through sanitization. So it really kind of depends on what you're dealing with. But either way, you can get our expertise to put eyes on it and give you good direction in regards to how to handle it.
Yeah, text MOLD if you'd like to take Brandon Faust, Mold Zero, up on the offer. Text MOLD to 813-750-0550. That's our consumer advocate hotline, 813-750-0550. Just text the word mold to that hotline. Leave a voicemail. We'll get right back to you. So, Brandon, we got about a minute left, but I wanted you to describe also, like we took it a step further. Yes, we cleaned the mold out, but we also installed these really cool systems that kind of go out and combat in the air. They got the little Pac-Man things going in the air, right?
Absolutely. So you have passive or you have proactive systems. Okay, so the filters that you can get out there, these are going to wait for spores to actually come to it, and they're going to stop it, and it's going to kind of build up. And you can wind up with bio-nesting. For example, the filters that go into your AC system. The spores might be stopped. Not all of them, but some of them will be stopped by that filter, or even HEPA filters. But then there's actual whole home purifying systems, which in Tampa I really do recommend because of the amount of mold growth in the environment. And they're going to go out and actively and aggressively take care of indoor air pollutants, and we do distribute those as well.
And it's got the UV light in there too that kind of kills it on site.
Yeah, so the UV light, and also it does ionization and in some cases ozone. So it just depends on how how much strength you're looking for.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff. Thanks so much. Appreciate you coming in, Brandon. Shout out to attorney Jason Kobal as well as Lisa Walls, who was on the show earlier as well. And as we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty on Facebook as well as Parler. And we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.